UFC 308 is just a few hours away and will happen at the Etihad Arena on Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. Get your popcorns, your cashew nuts, peanuts, whatever you like to eat during interesting games. Get them ready for this. This will be a banger. Anyway, my predictions are as follows. Starting with the main card. Sharabutin Magomedov versus Amen Petrosian. This will be going down in the middleweight division of the UFC. Once you hear a name or surname featuring Gomed or Gomedov, it is hard to bet against the bearer. The Dagestani warriors have proven themselves to be hard to beat in the UFC. Just think of Khabib's domination of the lightweight division and currently Islam Makhachev doing the same thing in lightweight. So Shara Bullet, as is popularly called, is undefeated, 14-0, and is 3-0 in the UFC. Can his hot hand end with the Armenian Armen? Armen lost his last fight where he submitted to Rodolfo Vieira, so he should be desperate to win this one. As you know, no fighter likes to lose 2 times in a row. It's not so tough to call for me. I think I have to go with Shara on this one. So Sharabuddin Magomedov is my pick for this fight. Next, we go to the Magomed Ankalaev fight versus Alexander Rakic in the light heavyweight division. Magomed, take notes, Gomed, another Dagestani warrior. Magomed is ranked number 1 in the light heavyweight division. That means he's next in line for the title shot, especially if he wins this fight. So this dude will do any and everything to end that fight against Alex Pereira, who is the champ right now. If Magomed can handle the pressure, I expect him to get past Rakic, who is on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost his last fight to former light heavyweight champ Yuri Prohaska via knockout. And if you lose 3 fights in a row in the UFC, it could put your career in serious risk. But I still have to go with Ankalaev on this one. Magomed Ankalaev is my pick for this one. Next, Leron Murphy versus Dan Ige. This is going down in the featherweight division. Dan Ige, man, that guy is a huge risk taker, even though he has tremendous power in his fists. I mean, this guy took on Diego Lopez on 4 hours' notice. 4 hours. When Brian Ortega had to pull out of that fight with Diego Lopez due to illness. And this guy took the fight on 4 hours' notice. Fighters like that can be dangerous. So Leron Murphy, who has an unbeaten record of 14-0 and 6-0 in the UFC, he has a lot to lose in this fight. He's ranked 12. His target is the championship, and Dan Ige is ranked behind him. So fighting a risky fighter who is ranked behind you could, draw you back in the rankings if you lose. So this is a huge, huge risk for Leron Murphy, but I still tip him to win this fight anyway. Good luck to Leron. Next, we go to the co-main events. Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. This will be a very interesting fight indeed. I expect Khamzat to characteristically come out in for takedowns, striking his opponent, hammer fist to the head, to the temple, trying to get rear naked chokes, etc., attempting to dominate. But he's fighting a former champ. Robert Whittaker is no slouch. This is a former middleweight champion and who is on a 2-fight winning streak himself. Okay, and has been very vocal about reclaiming the middleweight championship belt. The winner of this fight will likely be next for a championship fight against the winner of Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland. However, today's fight I believe is a 5-round co-main event. So Khamzat I can't recall him ever going past 3 rounds. So, and even in 3 rounds, he has he has been seen to kind of fade by the third round. I mean, look at his fight against Kamaru Usman, who took that fight on just a few days' notice. And Kamaru was beginning to get the better of him by the third round, even though Khamzat had the better of Kamaru in the first 2 rounds. So if Khamzat cannot get this done by round 3, I will have to lean towards Robert Whittaker for the victory. But I mean, can Robert get past the first 3 rounds against Khamzat, who is also in line for the championship if he wins this? This fight will be very exciting. Khamzat is an exciting fighter, and he has a huge fan base, more so in the Arab world. This is a fight not to miss. So I'll go for Chimaev if it's in the first 3 rounds. If it goes past round 3, I'm going for Robert Whittaker. Now to the main event of the day. UFC Featherweight Championship fight, Ilia Topuria against Max Holloway. This one is very hard for me to predict. These are two formidable featherweights with KO power. Both are coming off major victories in their respective careers. Max just earned the BMF title, knocking out Justin Gaethje in the last few seconds of the fight. Ilia just defeated one of the longest reigning featherweight champs, Alex Volkanovski, via knockout. Max has been the best in the featherweights, save for 3 consecutive losses to Volkanovski. This may be Max's last chance to regain the championship. That means pressure. Ilia, on the other hand, he knocked out Alexander Volkanovski, who has been Max Holloway's nemesis. So Ilia will be feeling that if I can knock out Volkanovski to win the featherweight title, I can replicate this against Max Holloway. I would just have to go for a coin toss on this one. This is just too hard to predict for me. So that's it for the main card. Well, there are some interesting fights in the prelims, such as Nigerian Kennedy Nzechukwu, who will be making his debut at heavyweight against Beastie Boy Chris Barnett. I would love to see how Kennedy transitions from light heavyweight to heavyweight. There are a few other good fights there in the prelims. Go check them out. I know there is RDA, who's about 40 years old now, though, going against Jeff Neal. I think that's the feature bout for the prelims. So guys, go get ready. This is a great card indeed. See you next.